Hi, welcome to Chapter 5, Part 1 of Class 6th History NCERT textbook. In this chapter, we are going to study about kingdoms, kings, and early republics. A republic is a form of government in which the power is held by the people and their elected representative. We saw this in the last chapter where Rajas in early Vedic times, that is from 1500 to 1100 BC, were elected by the people and were just like an ordinary person without big palaces and big armies. But things started to change by 1000 BC, that is nearly 3000 years ago, when Rajas started to assert their power by performing big sacrifices like Ashwamedh Yajna. And through these sacrifices, a person proclaimed himself as a Raja. In Ashwamedh Yajna, a horse was left freely by the Raja to wander into the kingdoms of other Rajas, and if any one of them stopped the horse, then he will have to fight with the Raja who wants to perform the sacrifice. Whereas, if they allowed the horse to pass, then it meant that they accept that the Raja who wants to perform the sacrifice is stronger than them. During the sacrifice, all these subordinate Rajas were invited and brought gifts for the Raja performing the sacrifice, as by performing this ritual, he was considered very powerful. The Raja was the central figure in this whole process. Even the common people brought gifts for him to please him. He was given a special throne to sit in this entire ritual. Priests read Vedic mantras and sprinkled water over the head of the king so as to bless him. His glories of the battlefield were also chanted side by side during this ritual. But to your surprise, there were some people who were not allowed to take part in these kind of rituals. They were the Shudras. Let's see who were they. We know that Rig Veda was probably written in northwest of Indian subcontinent in the early Vedic period, from 1500 to 1100 BC. But the other three, that is Samveda, Yajurveda and Atharvaveda, were written during the later Vedic period from 1100 to 500 BC in the plains of river Ganga and Yamuna in northern India. In these three Vedas, priests wrote about the rules of society and gave a lot of information about how to perform rituals. They wrote that society should be divided into 4 Varnas, that is Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Duty of Brahmins will be to study and teach Vedas. Kshatriya will have the duty to protect the people and fight battles. Vaishya will be farmers, traders, herders, etc. And Shudras will be the one to serve all the other 3 Varnas. This division was on the basis of birth. That means a son of a farmer will come under the category of Vaishya and not Brahmin. Shudras were not even allowed to perform rituals and study Vedas. Women were also denied these rights. And later, priests even classified another group called untouchables, who were added to Shudras. These so-called untouchables were either hunter-gatherers or people who performed burials and cremations, and that is why they were said to be polluted. But the society as a whole was frustrated. People were frustrated with these discriminations and denial of rights on the basis of birth. The system of untouchability was also quite heartbreaking. But this system did not gain any strong ground in northeast India because influence of these priests was quite less in that region. Now let's talk about Janapadas. Jana means people and Pada means foot. So Janapada is a territory or a region where people had set their feet or settled down. If you remember, in early Vedic period, we had Janas, which were basically a tribe or a community, And now, by the start of later Vedic period, near 1100 to 1000 BC, the Rajas started getting powerful, took over neighboring territories, and these Janas came to be called as Janapadas. If you can see in this picture, this grey color pot with beautiful black designs on it was a speciality of this period, maybe used on special occasions to serve food, found in parts of present-day Haryana, Delhi and Uttar Pradesh. Now let's talk about Mahajanapadas. Just as the Janas got converted into more powerful Janapadas around 1000 BC, the same way some of these Janapadas got converted into more important and powerful Mahajanapadas around 500 BC, as you can see on this map. Magad, Ang, Kosal, Vajji, Gandhar, Avanti, Panchal, Kuru, etc. are Mahajanapadas. There were total 16 of them. As these kingdoms were more powerful than before, so they had big capital cities too, which were the power center of entire kingdoms and had to be protected with the fortification walls around them. Building these big strong fortification walls was also a good way to show strength at that time, particularly used by the kings of these Mahajanapadas. This picture is of a fortification wall at Kaushambi near present-day Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh. This wall was built around 500 BC. Just look at this interlocking pattern of bricks and imagine how strong this wall would be that it is still standing even after so many centuries. Also, this fortification provided a better way to govern and plan the city. It's quite evident that a wall of this size and strength would need labor in thousands, and that labor will require a lot of resources and money, which brings us to an interesting question and our next topic, that is, from where did the kings of these Mahajanapadas got that money? So as to keep the video short, I will stop here for now and we will continue from this topic in the next video. Till then, take care, bye bye, Jai Hind.